Okay, so this is the 1-year review of the Wuling Mini EV. I remember more than 1 year ago, Wuling announced they're coming into Vietnam. I went to their launch event. Eventually, I put a deposit on the car. I ordered the car, received the car, and it's been 1 year since then. To be exact, it's been 13.5 months, and I put about 3,000 kilometers on the vehicle, just under, all right? And I think I'm very qualified to talk about this car, about my ownership experience, and whether I recommend this car or not, I'm gonna tell you in this video, all right? Let's go.
You know, if you're in Vietnam and want to know about business, actually, if you're anywhere and want to know about business, you might want to check out Tom Peng. He doesn't fuck around. Yeah, Tom Peng. He's A-okay. Peace.
So I think one of the biggest problem for a Chinese maker entering the Vietnamese market is the stigma that they are a Chinese company, because Vietnamese people don't like China so much and they have a hesitancy to buy Chinese products. So when Wuling invited me to their launch event, I went and I look at the car and I find this car to be quite cute, and it has a very playful appearance, and I think very unique in the Vietnamese market. So I put down a deposit and I waited about 6 months and I got my car. And I've been driving this car in the last year on and off. Not so much. I only put about 3,000 kilometers on this car. But I can tell you that whenever I drive the Wuling Mini EV, this car gets attention. This car gets more attention than my Bentley. This car gets more attention than my Mercedes SL55. This car gets more attention than any other car I have here in Vietnam. When I drive this car, people look at it, and of course I was one of the first people to have this car in Vietnam, so it was completely new and nobody saw it before, and it definitely looks unique. So I get a lot of attention, especially the car is pink. So if you like getting attention, then this is the car to get. Also, when I drive this car to District 1 and, you know, near the nightclub bar districts, a lot of girls come up to me and say, hey, what is this? How much is it? I've never received so much attention from girls because of the car I drive. Normally, I get a lot of attention from guys, from boys, about the cars I drive, right? But this car gets all the girls, and let me tell you, they're all hot girls, man. So if you want a lot of attention from girls talking to you, get a pink Wuling. It works like a charm. Now, in the last year, the ownership experience has been excellent. When I say excellent, I mean there's been no problem with the car whatsoever. Nothing broke, okay? Nothing broke. Nothing failed on me, which is exceptional considering other EV makers that are selling in Vietnam. Usually you have to take them back in the first month or first 1,000 kilometers. Usually you have to take it back to the service center, but not the Wuling. Because the car is so simple, there's really not much to go wrong. There's really not much to break down. And I have to say that in the last year, this car has been super reliable. Nothing broke down on me. The only money I have to spend on this car was for the service. About 6 months into the ownership, there's a small service to be performed. So you take the car back to the dealership or the store, and they change some fluid, and that's about it. And it was very cheap. It was, if I remember correctly, it was like 300 or 600K. It was so cheap, and it was done in a few hours. So really, I spent no money on this car. And also, when I drive this car, you cannot go to a charging station and charge this car. This car does not support DC charging. This car does not support fast charging. So the only way to charge this car is at home through DC charging, which is slow charging. Or maybe, maybe this car can charge with the chargers that are available for electric motorbikes, but I haven't tried that. Maybe it'll work because that's probably AC charging. But if you buy a Wuling, what you really need to do is every time you go home, you plug it into the wall and it will slow charge overnight, and it will bring the car back to 100%, which will give you about 100 kilometers of range. Okay, regardless what people say, this is thoroughly tested, fully charged, top-end Mini EV from Wuling will give you about 100 kilometers of safe range. Okay, you can really push about 100 kilometers on a full charge. I really would not recommend this car for people that need to travel long distances, need to go to neighboring provinces, need to travel more than 100 kilometers a day. This is not the car to get because you're gonna get stuck. And when you run out of battery, you gotta find a place to plug it into the wall, and you have to wait like 9 hours to bring the battery back up again. So this is definitely not a long range car. And also, if you need to carry a lot of people and a lot of cargo in comfort, then this is also not the car to get because it's a fairly small car. I wouldn't say the seats or the back seat is comfortable. I wouldn't sit in this car, go on a long journey, because this is not really a comfortable car to go on long journeys. But what this car really is good for is for people that don't need to travel a lot. You know, they just need to go to work, come back home, maybe go to the supermarket and do less than 100 kilometers a day. Then this car is actually perfect because this car is so small. You can navigate the roads of Vietnam, you can navigate alleyways of Vietnam very, very easily. You're not going to worry about getting stuck in a narrow alleyway like I am currently in the situation right now. All right, there's a big truck passing me, and but with this car, don't need to worry because I can navigate any small roads here in Vietnam. All right, so I think this is actually a really good replacement for motorbikes. If you are looking to buy your first car and you don't need to travel very far and you have a place in your house or your apartment to plug into the wall to charge 9 hours overnight, then this is the car to get. This is the car perfect for first-time car owner, first-time driver. Perfect. In fact, I'll probably be giving this car to someone I know who will be a first-time driver, and she will use this car to learn how to drive. I think this is the perfect use case for the Wuling Mini EV. Speaking of use cases, I can think of another use case that's perfect for the Wuling Mini EV. Okay, let's do that right now. Hello, Danuruk. How is school? Go home? Let's go. Do you like this car?
Yeah.
Let's go. This car is pink. Come on in. Okay, seatbelt. Oh yeah. Okay. You like this car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go home. Why do you like this car? Why? It's pink. You like pink? Okay. It's not a boy color, but it's not your fault. Okay. So there you have it. This is the best use case for the Wuling, is to pick up kids from nursery, preschool, or school, like short trips. This is what this car is the best for, in my opinion. So if you have kids, gotta pick them up, or you have people that help you take care of the children, give them a Wuling and they will drive the car to pick up the kids, make their life convenient, right? So you really like this car, right? Is this your favorite car? Really? You don't like the BYD? So would I recommend this car? Well, for me, the answer is no, because for me, I need cars with greater capacity because I do travel long distances. I do need to go to neighboring provinces and go visit customers. So this car really cannot do that, and therefore this car is not for me. Also, I like performance, I like power, and this car is not really strong in that area. And I don't blame the car because this car is not supposed to be a performance car. And this car is supposed to be a daily commuter, all right? So take you to work, come back home, go to supermarket, pick up the kids. This car is designed for that. So performance-wise, for Vietnam, it's adequate. It's not really a strong performer. It has a very weak motor and not a lot of horsepower. It goes to 100 kilometers in about 45 seconds. So the first 50 kilometers, you can get there really quickly, but the next 50 kilometers is gonna be a slow drag. It's gonna take longer. So this car is not for me, but again, if you're a first-time driver, you don't need to go very far. You're just looking for a cheap car, a cheap new car to go from A and B and doing simple commute, and you want a car that's easy to drive. Key here is easy to drive. Wuling is perfect for you, but it's not for me. I need more power, I need more distance, I need more capacity in the cars that I daily use. And also, I think reliability is a very important buying factor, right? You do want to buy a car that's going to be reliable and not going to break down on you so much. You don't want to buy a car that every month you have to send it back to the service center for a few days, because that becomes very painful in the ass, all right? And I've been there, so I understand. Like, you don't want to do that. You want a car that just works with minimal maintenance, and I think Wuling is that car. So there you have it. Would I buy it again? Probably not, but this car is excellent for a particular segment of drivers. Not everybody, but for a particular segment of drivers, new drivers that want easy to drive car, don't need to go very far. For those people, this is the perfect vehicle, in my opinion. Now, Wuling really do need to overcome the China stigma, right, in Vietnam, because a lot of Vietnamese people don't like to buy Chinese products for whatever reasons, and that's what they need to overcome. And I see that they're advertising this car as an American car now, because this car is a joint partnership between SAIC and also General Motors. So it's like 50% American car, okay? They're advertising it as an American car, but really no, it's assembled in China. But actually now, for the Vietnamese vehicles, it's assembled here in Vietnam. So technically, you could consider this a Vietnamese car too. So I think for a lot of the Chinese car makers that are coming into Vietnam, that's the stigma that they need to overcome. But let me tell you, I think a lot of the Chinese automakers, they make really excellent products. And I think if Vietnamese people are open to test their products, they will see that the Chinese cars are actually excellent, and that's why they're dominating the world right now in terms of electric vehicles. And really need people with open mind and open heart to see this. All right, so take some fucking action. This is my 1-year review of the Wuling Mini EV. I know they have more cars coming in, different models. I'm not sure whether I should get them or not. Let me know below in the comments. Should I get more Wuling cars and review them? All right, there's the Bingo. There's the Bingo SUV. Should I review them? Let me know, and maybe I will do them. Okay, so don't be a fucktard.